Hey there, we're gonna compare some races today. Hot seat, start new game. So, average, large, organic. Large organic is what we're doing here with pre-warp start. Three races to compare, only tactical combat is on, no randoms, no interrents. The first race is a race that you actually should know. It's a very famous race. Next to Unitol, we have Demolith as a race, which goes with artifacts, homeworld, and also in 150 improved you can add a large homeworld for that race. Demolith for artifacts large. With the standard negatives of repulsive, minus ground, minus defense. We have one pick left. This race is a Demolith. Demolith. And this race is yellow. Then we add another race. I'm gonna use the human picture for that. So we're gonna recreate first the Demolith race with the artifacts large homeworld and the repulsive minus ground minus ship defense. Again with one pick left. But now we're gonna say, hey, Lethal 4 is expensive, right? At 10 picks. Is it really worth it? Do we know this? So we want to test that. So I'm not gonna take Lethal 4 here. And I'm gonna spend the picks I have now. I have 11 picks actually, not 10. And I'm gonna spend them on aquatic for 5 picks and then +2 food. So aquatic gives me food and the 2 food also gives me food. So this is a very food heavy race. They're excellent farmers. So instead of having no farmers because we don't eat food, we're going to be very excellent farmers. So this is going to be not a Demolith but a Demofood race. Demofood. Food. Difficult word. And this race is going to be orange. Then we're going to add a third race. And we're going to take the Sakra for them. Again, we're going to reproduce our Demolith first to make a fair comparison. Repulsive. Yep. One pick left. And then no, we're not taking Lethal here. We're gonna do +2 food aquatic. This was our previous race, but now we're saying no, I don't want aquatic. Most people actually like to play subterranean. So instead of aquatic, we're gonna take subterranean, but it's one pick more, and now we're in the negatives. So we have to drop large homeworld. So we have a Demolith race, a Demofood race with aquatic +2 food, and we have a Demo sub race with subterranean +2 food. So this is our Demo sub. And accept. And Demo sub. And this race is going to be red. Now here's our 3 races. We're in a hot seat game. So Demolith goes first. Homeworld is Nazin. We have some interesting black holes here on the sides. This is a mirrored galaxy, by the way. So you see kind of similar blocks. And I did that on purpose to get same conditions, to make a fair comparison. We're going to choose electronic computer here. Put all but 2 on research. Scrap the starbase. And put it back in the queue. And here you have your standard opening. We have 45 research points to start with. We now have 250 BC in the bank. And +11 per turn. Demo Aqua is here. We're going to choose electronic computer as well. The tech path will be the same. Then we're going to put all but 2 farmers and 2 workers on research. So 4 guys on research. So we only have 30 research points instead of 45. Would we not have need for farmers? We would also have 45 research points because we are Demo Artifacts World. But we need the farmers, so 2 guys. And then you can see we're actually making 10 food. So we're selling 1 food, so we get an income of +13 instead of +12. Which is really good. I mean, it's just 1 BC, but it's 1 BC each turn that you're going to save from that 2 food. And it also means that we're going to stay at 2 farmers until we get the 11th population unit. And we only had 8 at the start, so for 2 more growth, we can stay with the 2 farmers. That's excellent. I'm going to delete the starbase here as well and add it back in the queue. And then third, Demo sub. It's the same star system here with the 2 radiated rich and abundant worlds. We're gonna choose electronic computer. Again, the tech path will be the same. And then 4 guys on research. Again, these 30 points. And with the same story, if we had all the farmers not needed, 45 research points. But same as the aquatic race, we need 2 farmers. They only produce 8 food here. So we have no food to sell. So we only have plus 12 income. It's different than aquatic in that sense. Put the starbase in the queue. Now the Demo Aqua race had a population cap of 20 and the sub race only has 18. So it is slightly lower population, max population, 18 instead of 20. But otherwise this race plays the same as Demo Aqua in the first couple of turns, except that Aqua makes a little bit more money than we do. So we spend 1 BC on the marine barracks here and we get no money from food because we have no access. So we can turn. Now, Demolith, this is turn number 1. This is our second turn. Is at 80% already of the electronic computer, and we want to up that to 96% by adding 1 more tech guy. And then we're going to delete the marine barracks. And now we're at plus 12. This is, of course, plus 12. That is 8 from taxes collected and 4 from the government bonus from democracy, plus 50% tax collection. We're at 96%. Oh yeah, the growth here is 89, plus 89 each turn. So we can turn. Then Demofood is at 20% of the electronic computer, so we're making less research, so we're a little bit behind on the teching side. We're also gonna delete that marine barracks, because a demo doesn't need marine barracks for morale. And we can turn. Then Demo Sub, same thing, delete the marine barracks. This is a standard opening, by the way. Delete your starbase and marine barracks, especially when you're doing 1v1 multiplayer. Plus 12 here as income, 20% for the electronic computer, and we can turn. Now, something special happened. Normally with 96%, you're quite certain you're gonna get a breakthrough, but I've set the parameter that you need to have 100% tech invested before you get the breakthrough. And I did this to, again, make a fair playing ground. So some race will get the breakthrough at 96%, another one at 80%, and then you get an advantage based on chance. And that's not what I want to have in this game. I want to have a fair as possible comparison. So 100% did not get us the electronic computer. We have to do 1 more turn to get it. And that's all we're going to do for this turn. This guy is now at 80%. So again, here, I'm going to do the same thing here. Put it to 96%, knowing that we will not get the tech. But to play the same, I'm playing the same kind of style here. And that's all we're going to do. We have plus 2, so we make 13 BC instead of 12. Demo Sub makes 12 BC, 80% as well. Same thing here. 1 guy extra, going to 96% and turn. Now Demolith gets its electronic computer. And next is Research Lab. If we click on Research Lab, you can see we have 107 instead of 150. Because the excess research will roll over to the next turn. So we're not losing our tech points that were too much for that 100% tech. So it's still there, 107. We're going to put all guys there. We have 15 stored production here, lower left corner, making 3 extra each turn. And we're going to take about 4 turns to get this research lab going. So turn. 100% here for the electronic computer. Same here. 3 turns for that research lab. We are having our electronic computer now, going for research lab as well next. Same here. Research lab. We are now at 34%. We are not in the percentages here. %. Yep. Continue. 4 turns. 4 turns. You are now at 100%. How many guys can we take off? Only 1 guy. So 2 guys on production. Here's your research lab. We continue in advanced engineering, the construction branch, Phytech base. And we're going to build that research lab. I'm going to buy it as well. 54 for 27 production. That's really good. 1 guy goes there. So 1 guy stays on production. Demofood is 50%. Also 50% for Demosub. We have now 68 research points. That's quite impressive indeed. We have 38 research points. We also have 38 research points. Okay, now it's getting interesting. Turn number 10. We are at 100% here. So we can pull some guys off. Get a little bit of pollution here, but that's okay. We are at 890k population growth plus 89. So next turn we will not have a growth for this race. We'll stay at 8. We have 334 in the treasury. We have 399 in the treasury. It's considerably higher actually. We are at 100%. And if I take 1 guy off, we're at 96. So I have to stay like this. But in terms of population, we're at 970 plus 97. So we will have a growth next turn. So we're ahead in population from the Demolith race. Demosub also at 100%. Needs to keep that guy there. We are at 940 plus 94. Slightly behind the Aqua, but we're also going to have growth next turn. So here it becomes interesting. So Demolith again, player 1. We are going to research fighter base. And then automated factories is next. 6 turns for the technology. I'm going to put these guys back on teching. And we're going to have growth next turn. We're still at 8 and next turn we have 9 guys. We are at 68 research here at the moment. So turn. Demofood, he has research lab going for fighter base, same tech path. And we had growth, so in our 9 population we still have 1 food spare. And we still get, for 1 food we get 1 BC, so plus 13. Still 1 BC extra. And we're now at plus 45 in our research department. We're going to build a research lab. And buy it, 42 for the 21 production. And this is a nice race, huh? And we're going to turn. Then Demosub, also get the research lab. We're going for fighter base. 4 turns. We also had growth, but we had to put a farmer here, otherwise we would have starvation. So we do not get the 45 research points. We're going to stay at 38 for now. We can also build a research lab and buy it. We have 59 research points. 59 research points. We have 50 research points. So that's 9 less. Demolith is at 49%. We are at 100% for the fighter base. We cannot take one guy off. We are only at 75%. Because we need that farmer here. Demolith is at 100% for the automated factories. 100%. And we cannot take one guy off. We need to have that 100%, otherwise we will not get a breakthrough. Demofood gets his fighter base and only now starts for the automated factory. 5 turns to get it. 5 turns with 59 research points per turn. We are at 100% for fighter base. So we're actually basically 1 turn behind the Aqua race now, but we do get plus 13 because we now have the plus 3 on the food. So we have now a cash benefit from having extra farmers. Back to Demolith. Automated factories are in. Next is biospheres, still a standard research path. Automated factory, we have to get it as soon as possible, doesn't matter. Buy it anyway, 32 for 70 BC. That's very nice. We're still 4 turns away from that factory. 4 turns, that's a big deal, guys. Don't be mistaken about that. You think like, oh, that's only 4 turns, but that's a big deal. We're only at turn 15, eh? Kind of like, that's a long distance to go for comparison with the other race. Here we have fighter base. We're going also for automated factories. We are 5 turns away from the factory. Automated factory is in. Starbase is next. 93% are we. 334 in the coffers. 93%. Do that a little bit lower until we see pollution, like so. No, just the 1. So 3 guys on production here. No, let's just do 2 guys. 21%. And no percent for the factory. So, Demolith, 100%. We're going to have these biospheres. That's a lot of guys we can take off. Like almost everybody. But I don't want to do that. I don't want that much pollution here. Knowing that I'm just going to stick with 2 again. 2 guys is enough. The rest of the research will roll over to the next project. Which is going to be the cloning center, by the way. So, Demofood, 60% for the factories. We're not even talking biospheres, we're factories. Turn. You are 20% for the factories. Keep it going. Keep it going. We have our biospheres. And then next is cloning center. Weaponry, no, we don't need you. We're not going to hire any leaders because that would create an uneven playing field. Biospheres will be in the queue. So that brings up our population max from 16 to 18. And also it gives you just a tiny little bit more of growth on your population. We're at plus 88 now. We could buy this, but I'm going to wait for 1 turn. We are at 100% for the factory. And we need that guy on research, otherwise we won't get it. So, okay, it is what it is. Then Demo Sub, 53% for the factory. So we need to do at least 1 more turn to get it. At least 1 more turn. Demolith, we're going for that cloning center. It's 8 turns away, quite far away. We're going to put this guy on research now and buy that biospheres. So remember, 88 growth. Here we go, automated factories. We're going for biospheres as well. Same thing, same research path. Factories, we're going to buy them. And we're going to pay 90 for the 36 production. That's quite expensive. But we had a little bit more money in the reserve. So we're now at 377. No growth is happening here. Demo sub, 86%. Still need to wait a little bit. Let's keep it like it is. So we went from plus 88 to 94k per turn. So our population growth just marginally increased there. Money-wise, we're 342 plus 10. 342 plus 10. We are 389 plus 11. So we're still making that 1 BC more per turn. And we're going to have growth next turn. So we're going to have that 10th population. And still we have no need for an extra farmer here. Demo sub at 50 research points is at 100%. We can take one guy off. And we're going to leave it at that. Demolith is working on that cloning center. Demolith has 77 research points. And it will not have growth next turn. I'm going to stay at 9. But we have 77 research. We are at 100% here. We are 10 population now. So that's pretty good. But we're still lower. 68 research points per turn. Still lower than the Demolith. So we're still behind. But biospheres will be there next turn. We can do the 2 population thingy again. So I'll put 2 guys on production. And turn. Demo sub. Automated factories are here. We're starting on biospheres now. You see the difference between the 3 races increasing actually. Automated factories happening here now. I'm going to buy it for 54. Demolith 7% for that cloning center. So we're getting already in the percentages. We have stored production 27, which is not really a lot. So we want to be at 50 ideally to buy that cloning center. But we're gonna keep on going forward. Demofood, getting the biospheres. Now starting on cloning center. Not gonna do soils. Gonna take also no leaders here. We're gonna take clonings and not soils. Soils would only give us 2 food, because we have so... Soils is actually less valuable if your race has a better inherent farming quality. So these guys, these food plus 2 aquatic guys, they create so many foods with only the 2 populations. So you need very little amount of farmers. Then soil enrichment is going to be less of an impact to such race. So no soils here. But we're going to build that biospheres. And we're not going to buy it at 85. But this guy is going back to research. 68 points here. Demo sub, built the automated factory, is doing biospheres, but needs to work on it a little bit more. You're going back to research. There's tiny variations in the way I play actually. Sometimes with the population on production or on research. It's not exactly the same between the 3 races. I should take... well, there is some variation. I don't think it impacts it too much because it's a money versus tech question here going on. And the cloning center will be expensive for us to buy. But we still don't have it. Demofood is now 8 turns away from cloning center. We are 10 population though. 10 population out of 20 gives you the highest inherent growth. So we're nicely at plus 100 now. This is the way it works. So 20 max population. You have 10 actual population. Then your growth will be plus 100k. Very nice way this formula works. We're going to buy this biospheres because it's now 1:2 ratio. Demo sub at 100% for biospheres here. Yeah, we're just going to shuffle that one guy. 2 extra production. And turn back to Demolith. 50% they are already for the cloning center. We're gonna have that 50, so pretty good actually, not spending too much money again. Demofood, build biospheres. We now have 104k each turn because we increased our population limit by 2. 9 production stored. Demosub, biospheres is in. Starting on cloning center. We are 12 turns away. Look at this, guys. 12 turns away for the cloning center. That's a big deal. That's a lot. We are behind now. If 10 turns away. Okay, so I put the extra production guy to research, and we're 10 turns away from cloning center. The other 2 races were only 8 turns away. Are we doing biospheres? Yes, we are. Are we buying it? No, because there's not a 1:2 ratio. Turn. Demolith is here again. First race, 72% for that cloning center. It's almost there. One to 2 ratio, buy it. 93% for that cloning center. So 86 research points, 100% for the cloning center. Can do 2 guys here. We are still a few turns away. The food race. And the sub is even further behind. Demolith, cloning center is in. You see, we're not doing the freighters and drive and fuel tanks thing because I'm not scouting for anything. I'm just staying on that one home system. Which means next in line is neural scanner because we want to have that supercomputer. We want to have that supercomputer. So cloning center, build it and buy it. Yes, 30. One guy goes back to research. This is our Demofood race. 23% for the cloning center. 10 population. We are having the highest monies. 483. 483. We have 414 here, but most importantly, we now have 194 growth each turn, and that's going to make a big difference again. So Demolith is slightly getting ahead a little bit more each turn. It's not immediately visible, but the difference is there. It's quite clear after only 30 turns in the game at the moment. 40% for the food race, still not there. And the sub race is far from cloning center at this point. Look at this, man. 5 turns out for cloning center. Okay, I'm going to make a quick save here, and then we can continue this a little bit in a second episode of this hot seat. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the episode number 2.